Hi.
Hi. Oh, we got you. Look so pretty, but I hope I don't got an echo. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Kendra G Singles, the dating app, is available now on iPhones and Android phones. Okay, I hope it's a baby ass echo. You look nice. Your name is Misty.
Yes.
Misty, where are you calling us from?
St. Louis, Missouri.
St. Louis. How old are you?
I am 40.
40. Okay, what you do for a living?
I'm a substitute teacher and an Uber and Lyft driver.
So teacher and an Uber
Hmm.
and Lyft. You have any kids?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I have 4.
What are your 4 children?
My oldest is 20, and I have a 9-year-old, and I have 8-year-old twins.
Okay, all by the same man?
2 different men.
Have you ever been
So
married?
my oldest is from my first marriage, and then my younger 3 are from my second marriage.
When did you get divorced?
In 2018.
2018. Okay. So married twice. Okay, so you married both of your children's dads.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we got Misty St. Louis. What's your zodiac sign?
Pisces, through and through.
Pisces. All right. So we got Misty St. Louis, 40 Pisces. Mom to 4 by 2 men, both of her ex-husbands. Substitute teacher, also an Uber and Lyft driver. They say she's pretty.
Oh, thank you.
What kind of man you looking for, girl?
Okay, so I'm so happy I caught you in a good mood tonight, Kendra. I've been watching you
I'll be
ever
in a
since.
bad mood. I don't listen.
Sometimes, but
Well,
that's
I will say
okay.
this. My mood matches sometimes the energy of the guest is where my mood goes. I will stand that I start off well with everybody. I start off well with everyone unless something goes sideways. So I usually return energy. That's what I believe.
I
I
understand.
believe I return energy. But let's
I match
start. But
energy
Missy, you better
too.
stay on the right side, girl, because you ain't starting off right.
No,
But let's
no, I'm just
let's
saying.
not
I'm
really
just
mix.
saying
I
that.
don't get.
No,
No,
I'm
here's the
saying that
deal.
you.
Pause. No, pause. I'm gonna. This is good. You're a perfect example. So I literally gave you a compliment. I set the stage, and then you went left and said, "Well, I got you in a good mood." So now, what kind of energy you think that brings? And I literally
No,
set you
no,
up
I'm saying
good.
I'm saying that you're there, like you said, there are different times when you have different moods, and we're all like that, and it's okay to be like that. But there are sometimes when you have less patience than other times, like whenever we're on the show. That's what I mean by, because the reason I'm reaching out to you is because I wanted your help with something very specific, and so sometimes, depending on your mood, then I wouldn't know if you would be willing or open to help me with something specific.
Well,
So
okay, hold on. So are you here to look for love?
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
But I'm reaching out for help to reach out to a specific person. So there's somebody that I'm specifically interested in, and I've been attempting to reach out to them, but I think that they're kind of like an upcoming celebrity-ish, I guess you would say.
And I know this person.
I don't know. I don't know. But because you're in that world, or just because of your show, your platform, that I just thought that this would be a good way to try to reach out to them, because I've attempted other ways, but I think that they get so many messages from so many people that I think I just kind of get lost in the sauce. So I was like, well, maybe Kendra can help me, because this is her world and this is what she does. And yes, I am looking for love. So if it's possible for you to help me to get this person's attention, then I would appreciate it.
Okay, so let me pause. Let me make sure I understand. So
Okay.
basically, and we're gonna get to this name in a second. So there's a specific person
Hmm.
so basically you want to be a highlight. So this video could travel to the person you really want to get their attention to.
Yes.
Okay, so who is the person?
Are you familiar with the Lost Lover Boy podcast with Dmitri Wiley?
I'm Dmitri Wiley.
He does he's like has been a guest on the on what is it? The shoot. Well, his particular podcast that he
So real
hosts
quick,
is
this is gonna sound crazy. I I'm not in these YouTube streets like that, so I don't know all these podcasts. I'm not even trying to lie to y'all. So I
Mhm.
never. His name Dmitri sounds familiar, but the podcast absolutely I don't know it. Is he on Instagram?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what's his IG? Let me look this man up.
Lost Lover Boy.
Lost Lover Boy is
Mhm.
Lover.
But his name could possibly be Dimitri Wiley on there, but that's like what his
Oh, I do. Oh,
YouTube.
actually, I know him. I
Yeah,
did tonight's
yeah,
conversation with him.
yes. That's what I was trying to
Okay,
think
so
of the
him, I
name.
actually, I didn't know the name of his podcast. When you
Yes, I
said
was
his
trying to think of the
name,
name of tonight's conversation.
yeah. Okay, so I do know Dimitri. We've done tonight's conversation together. So
Uh-huh.
I did. Shout out to Ace. I'm actually back on tour. I should be talking about this. I'm on tour with tonight's conversation starting in October. And Dimitri, we were on a episode together. So I do know Dimitri. He lives in Chicago. So
Yes,
actually, I
and
actually
that's
do
like
know Dimitri.
Chicago is about 4 hours from me. So
So you want me to hit up Dimitri directly for you?
yes, ma'am.
Dimitri, are you older than you're 40, right?
I am. And
He's
I
younger.
realize that he's much younger than me, but he's a very mature young. And honestly, if I'm being completely transparent, I don't necessarily know that we would be the most compatible, but I would like to spend some time with him and just really exchanging energy and just having conversations and just kind of seeing, because I feel like that he's a very open-minded person as well as I am. And I've watched so many of his videos and he's kind of talked about like age range and stuff like that and how he's, open to older women because I mean he's a mature individual and I really just I love his energy. I feel like that we share a lot in common as far as just being lover boys and lover girls. Like I love love. I'm a person who's very just in that whole romantic kind of vibe, and I love what he stands for. I appreciate him as a person. I think that we could give one another a lot of just insight and just, if nothing else, to just have like a really mature conversation with one another and to have some fun. But it's nothing, like I said, I've had a crush on him for a long time, and I only recently realized how much younger he is than me. But like I said, even if it wasn't to be anything super serious, I'd just like to have a conversation with him, if nothing else.
So let me ask you a couple things. Now you said you try to reach out. How in what ways did you try to reach out?
So I have sent him DMs a couple times on Instagram. I have
Okay,
commented.
so when you send the DMs, do it
Mhm.
say seen?
No, no.
Okay, so he's never seen them. Okay.
Yeah, so that's why because I don't want it to seem like I'm like some crazy stalker or like I'm
Oh
obsessed
no,
or
you're
doing
definitely
anything.
coming. Well, your girlfriend, you coming across as a stalker. I don't know. So
But
you already
well, yeah,
know. You
it
went to
might seem
you.
like that, but it's not like I'm like obsessively like I haven't been like stalking, following him crazy. Like I mean, like I'm a fan, so I watch his videos, of course. I've tried to inbox him, and because it shows, if it would show like he's seen it, or if he messaged me back and was like, I'm not interested, no, thank you, whatever, then that is what it is, and I would let it be. But because I feel like that he's never even seen or been aware of me at all, I'm just kind of like, well, maybe Kendra can help. And if he's not interested, that's fine too. And if he wants to call me, call me.
Okay, well, I'm gonna give you. This is gonna be your 30 seconds to talk to Dimitri, and I will make sure he sees what you have to say. Go.
30 seconds is a long time, but um, Dimitri, if you're watching, I would just really love the opportunity to get to know you better in person. I would like for you to get to know me. I feel like that we could have a lot of fun together and that we could just share some insight for the things that we know about love. And I'm just really um, interested in getting to know you. And I appreciate everything that you do. And I admire you. And I just would love to hang out sometime.
Okay, and what's your name on the Kendra G Singles dating app?
I want to say, can you check and see if it's Mystical Mama? But it
Um,
would be Misty
so you didn't check
Cal.
that before you call me? Like, what would be the?
Well, the reason why I covered my face in shame it's not really shame, but like the name that I actually put was I specifically made my profile to reach out to him, to get in touch with you, to reach out to him. And what he does a lot of times whenever he does his podcast and whenever he does his videos, he talks a lot to Mrs. Wiley. So I put
So
future
you put
Mrs.
his
Wiley.
last name in your. Okay. Wait. So you have Dimitri's last name as your username inside of.
It says future Mrs. Wiley on there. Yeah.
Is that your username?
I'm not sure if my username is Mystical Mama or Future Mrs. Wifey. I put both of them on there, but I don't know how it shows up.
Future
I just
Mrs. Okay, so okay, so okay, let me take it from the top. So it is future Mrs. Wiley. If you put up future Mrs. Wiley, you will see her on the Kendra G Singles dating app. You are taking manifestation all the way. I mean, one thing, I don't know if this is the power or manifestation or crazy. Why do you have rollers in your
exactly,
hair?
and well, that's the thing. I'm like, okay, I'm wondering if he's gonna take it as like she's psychotic, like I need to stay far away from her. If he's gonna be like flattered and find it humorous and just be like open to the idea of, hey, I can get with that because she's serious about what she's talking about.
This is what I will say. Shout out to Dmitri. I really enjoyed him. I liked a lot of things he has to say. I didn't know who he was until we did a tonight's conversation together. Dope guy. Actually, I take that back because I live in Chicago and I used to live in Chicago, and he reminded me years ago he was on our radio show. But he's taking off in this space, and I'm very proud of him. What I will say is, a lot of you women kind of like want this. He's desired by a lot of women.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, like, so you definitely are, and you are a part of a lot of women that want Demetri.
I understand the competition, Kendra.
I
I'm
don't want
well
to. Well,
aware.
I don't want to say competition. I don't know. I hate that word competition, but if we have to use that word, so be it. But did you? Okay, I know you sent him DMs. Did you ever leave like a comment under one of his posts? And say, oh,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
have.
Hmm.
Oh, you have. Okay, you have sent. Okay, have you
Yeah,
gone
I
to
left him.
events? Okay, let me ask you. He does the tonight's conversation. Did you ever go to a live event? Because those are really easy times to meet him.
No, man, I wasn't available to go. Actually, I was trying to make it to. He just did an album release in Chicago for like his music recently. Like he
How
did
you
his
gonna
first
be
like
Mrs.
concert.
Miss? How you gonna be Mrs. Future Wiley and you ain't go to his album release?
I I had prior engagements and I just could not make it that time. But also, it's just one of those things where it's like it's one of those spaces also where it's just like there's so many people and everybody's trying to do the same thing. And so it's like I would rather meet
Okay,
him
why do
on
you
a
have
more
rollers?
okay. So and I was hoping that you were going to talk about that because in the last video that you were talking to the girl with the bonnet on her head, I was like, I don't know because I also feel like that sometimes men want to see like really what they're getting because it's like anybody can dress up and look a certain way and a lot of women they wear wigs and lashes and nails. I mean, like everything is so superficial sometimes, and so I feel like this is how you might see me whenever I wake up. So you need to know exactly what you're getting. Like whenever I'm just plain Jane every day, like this is how I am. So I put a couple pictures where I'm dressed up and then a couple pictures where I'm just all natural. And I'm just like, well, this is how I am.
Well,
This is who I
okay,
am.
okay, here's the deal. There's a difference between all natural, which I agree with, right? But then I would put rollers and bonnets. That's not all natural. That's when, obviously you're in a bonnet or you're in a rollers. And listen, I'm not the law on this. So I'm not saying that what I'm saying is facts, but what I can share, which I think a lot of women don't know what I know. There's a lot. You guys are seeking out highly sought out men, right? And trust me, like And when you say Dmitri, now I get it. Okay, yeah. When I did it, tonight's conversation, especially because the way he talks, there's a lot of women that want to be Mrs. Future Wiley. So I am going to stand by. No, you put your best foot forward. And then also, it's not even about, I will say this, certain men like this, it's just, I don't know how to say it. I mean, these kind of men that, I be around, just sometimes appearance kind of is a situation. So I agree with natural. I'm not saying you got to be makeup down, wig down, weave down. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm not going to put unkept rollers and bonnets in natural. That should be for the home. When you are outside trying to present yourself, I'm going to stand on. You should not have on a bonnet, rollers, or be unkept. Now, natural, of course. And I think a lot of men like natural. You probably natural right now. You're gorgeous. You can tell you're gorgeous,
Thank
right?
you.
So, but I think if you're serious about this guy, you go to an event. You go to an event,
Right.
you introduce yourself. Yes, there'll be other women doing the same, but you block them out. You go introduce yourself. If you want to be in the running because you're choosing a man that you will be in the running for because that's the man you're choosing.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not that it's not a part of, it's not that it's something that I haven't wanted to do or that I don't intend to do. I mean, I definitely have, been watching, been following, been trying to figure out like how and when and like I can make it to certain places. I mean, I do have the ambition. It's just it hasn't worked out thus far. But that doesn't mean that it won't in the future. But again, it's just, I attempted the to send the DMs. I did the comments, and then I was like, hey, what about Kendra? So it's just, it's one step in the process, or and I'm trying various ways, and hopefully something lands, and hopefully I will get to a show or be somewhere in the same place and space. That's kind of the goal. So
Real quick, what is the age difference? I don't know his exact age.
I believe he's 29, so it's like 11 years.
So you want to date? So you will go? How? You have
Now,
four
I'm not
kids?
going to say, now I'm not
Wait
going
a
to say
minute. You
in
have four kids?
general. I'm not going to say in general, if I were like answering your questions and you asked me, I would probably say 35 to 45 or 50. That would typically be what I would say if I was just dating anybody. But I'm making a bit of an exception again, just to have the opportunity to at least have one date, one conversation, one. It's not like I would date all 29-year-olds. I wouldn't set my bar that low in general. But whenever I see the type of energy that he brings and the type of maturity that he has, then I'm open to. I mean, I've seen many successful relationships that have age gaps. It just kind of depends on what people are mentally.
Okay. I don't know this about Dmitri. Do you know if he wants more kids?
He does. He actually wants to at least have a daughter, and I have 3 of them. So
So he wants to have. So you want to have another baby?
I'm open.
So you
It's
would
not
have.
it's not if I were to say, like I said, if it was anybody else, or if I was just in general talking, like, no, I don't particularly want more children, but I'm open to the idea for the right person, and I'm capable, and it just, the situation just depends.
So when
I
I said
mean,
that, so you said he wanted a daughter, and then you initially said you have 3. So you think that being that you have a mom of 3 girls, that would be sufficient? I'm confused.
no, no, not necessarily. He would probably still want his own child, which is fine. But I mean, I know that he wants at least a daughter, and he wants to raise a daughter. So maybe he might want to raise 3. Not, I mean, I already have one that's an adult. So, but I have 2 young daughters. So he could possibly want to raise more girls.
So your oldest child's 20, and he's 29.
I know, Kendra. Again, that's why in the beginning, whenever I said I'm just now realizing that there are some incompatibilities, so that there are some things that maybe not make us the best match. Um, but again, even if it wasn't to be a long-term thing that like where we like worked out as a forever, like I still just enjoy spending time together and having some fun, not necessarily I wouldn't be like, oh, like the only way that I can talk to you is if we have this long-term commitment. Like I
So, okay, going back to the date. So, is the
mhm,
request that he, as a man, comes court you? Where do you live again? You are in St.
St.
Louis.
Louis. Hmm.
So, is the desire like he comes to St. Louis and takes you out, or do you go to where he is?
Either is fine.
Either is fine.
Mhm.
So, I'm going to give you a chance to respond, Misty, because a lot of people going to say, you delusional girl. You delusional girl.
It's okay
What do you think? What do you say to that, honey?
to say that I'm delusional.
Yes.
I mean, well, everybody has their own opinion. I believe that I'm a hopeless romantic. I believe in um right time, right place. I believe that anything can happen, anything is possible. Um I wouldn't necessarily call it delusional. I think that whenever people are open minded and whenever they want something, they go for it. And where there's a will, there's a way. And I believe in just going for the things that you want. And if it happens, it happens. And if it doesn't, then something better is waiting.
Okay, that's fair. I would say this. I once had a guy on the show. He was 29. He was tall. He had no kids. He was looking for a wife. He was a really good catch. And I said to him, I was like, I really hope you partner with a woman around your age. I think I know what a lot of people don't know. I know numbers. So I'm never talking with emotions. I'm just talking with numbers because I know the back end of how many people come forward, right?
Mhm.
So, but there was a woman who was older that still reached out to him and called back in and tried to talk. Not saying you would do this, but called back in and talked about her experience with him and he wasn't serious. And I gave her pushback, like, well, no, maybe he just wasn't serious with you,
Yeah.
but it doesn't mean that he's not serious. But I share this to say she got so mad at me because I was trying to say in so many ways, girlfriend, you're 40, he's 29. There's a lot of girls his age
Yeah.
that are on him. So I'm trying to help you not waste your time on a guy that a lot of because you're attractive, but there's a lot of attractive women in the world, but you're definitely attractive. Um, that are gonna be on him. But that experience taught me I'm gonna just let everybody have their reality lesson. So I'm gonna do my part. I'm gonna make sure Dmitri at least sees this video. What comes from it, and we'll see it at that. Dmitri, baby, she on the way. And if you wasn't on a dating app, it would be a whole different situation. But since you on a dating app,
I
you
appreciate it,
yeah,
Kendra, because
okay. Misty, now listen, all I'm gonna do is make sure he sees it. I can't make sure he's
I
responding.
know.
So I don't know if he's ever gonna respond to you. I don't know if, I'm not claiming that part, but I can at least get him. Well, I can at least get him to video. He has to decide to watch it. So that's what I'm saying. He has to decide to watch it. But I will at least make sure he gets the video. But
Thank
here
you,
she is,
Kendra.
future Mrs. Wiley. Future Mrs. Wiley.
Oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing. No, but Kendra, I will say this too. Like I'm not completely delusional. Like I understand that there are
You're definitely
many more
delusional. You're definitely delusional. You
there are
are.
many more
But
women his age and that probably fit the description because I know that he prays for a very specific type of person and I know that he knows what he wants and he has a vision and goals for his life and so I realize that I don't fit those descriptions but at the same time I guess I kind of just want to open his mind to the idea that maybe that there's something or somebody out there that um because I guess it's like yes we have to be specific whenever we want when we ask God for the things that we want and we have this idea but I think a lot of times what people kind of box themselves in, and they kind of miss out on opportunities whenever they are so focused on, and I'm not saying don't have goals and dreams and visions and don't be specific with what you want. I'm just saying that sometimes whenever we're open, that we might find that that's where the spot where we end is where God begins. And you just never know what might be, what he might have for us might look different. So it's like, I just say, never judge a book by its cover, because what you see on the outside. Yes, I'm a single mom. I'm 40. I have 4 kids. So that may not be on the outside like what you had envisioned in your mind for what you want, but you never know like what's on the inside. I could possess, everything that you need and everything that you've been looking for, and just have some extra things to go with it. So
Well, that's okay. So can I respond? So
yeah.
here's what I've learned from hosting this show, right? So I do not claim to be a relationship expert. I claim to be what I've always been, which is a journalist. And as a journalist, what we do is I've been doing interviews since the age of 19, child, more than 20 years, and you collect data. So 5 years ago, I transitioned to single people. So I've learned this, what I'm about to say, and and hosting this show from the male's perspective. So everything you just said was from a woman's perspective, from the love perspective, from the very emotional stance. And I get that as a woman. Now, from a logical male's perspective, it's not even just about children, it's also being financially able to take care of those children, right? Do I want to deal with, so you have 4 kids, so if he has a certain income and he wants to be a provider, and I know Dmitri has 1 child, and I believe he was married once before too, so he has 1 child. So if a
He's
man is
never been married.
I thought he was married once. Are you sure?
Yes,
He's
ma'am.
never been. Okay. So you know that I'm not going to debate there, because I could have sworn, I could be wrong. So I'm not going to debate that. But either way, I know he has a son, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, he has a son. So, anyways, long story short, when the thing with children, a true provider, what goes through his mind is, can I provide for this amount of people, right? So,
Mhm.
and then if you have children, now granted, these are your ex-husbands, they're not baby daddies. So I think I've learned that weighs more. Still, if he's a good man, I have to deal with these men, because if I'm going to deal with you and be this person for you, you come with children and 2 men that I will have to associate with. That's one thing. Now, if he wants more children, okay, so you have 4, you're 40. Not saying you can't have kids at 40, but you got to work a little bit harder. So you will need to be starting like right now, like you got to get it right. So shout out to the women in the 40s. Not saying it's over. I know friends that have children in the 40s, but I also do know that you got to put a lot of work in. It's not as easy when you're younger. But now he has to put all those things in consideration too. Like, okay, if I want another child, now I have a child, she has 4. We're going to add potentially another one. Do the finances really align to that? And these are some of the logical things, not some, these are logical things that men think about, right? They think
Mhm.
about. So I think women, kind of like you, living, we were taught Cinderella. Cinderella is love, and love is beautiful. And I'm a great woman, so that's what it is. But that's Disney. When it comes
No.
to the real life, you got to start thinking about, do I really align with this person? And the reason I'm
Right.
saying this, Misty, is because I think you're a gorgeous woman, right? And there's probably a lot of men who, everybody was like, the first thing I said is, she's cute, like she's pretty. But no man is gonna want to mess with you now, because you only want Dimitri. And it's like, I
Well,
almost feel like you use this moment to be to the world, to shoot yourself for one guy. And is this one guy really a slam dunk, when there's probably so many amazing men that you might have aligned with that are like, forget it, because you want that guy.
well, I feel like, I mean, also like I don't want there to be the misconception that like it's like, yes, I did use my moment the way that I intended to use it, and I don't regret that, because I feel like what's meant to be will be. And if he doesn't reach out, or if that doesn't become a thing, then like I know that eventually like my moment will come back around, somebody, whoever I'm supposed to be with. But I'm also not so delusional that like I'm like, okay, like it's I don't think that having a crush on somebody necessarily is just like, okay, like
Girl,
my
your
whole life
name
is.
is Mrs. Wiley on a dating app. What are you?
I know,
Your name
I know, but
literally is.
it was
It,
purposeful.
this is no, you have to receive this. The only man that has an option with you is Dimitri. Your name is future Mrs.
It was very intentional. It was very
Okay,
intentional. Yes.
and
So,
that's and what I'm
but
saying to you is hopefully these in your perfect world, this intention has to work because you have turned off the other men. You have made yourself what are you, Mrs. Wiley? What are you
no,
talking about now?
no, possibly. So, but the thing is I'm not so hard pressed on finding a man or being with just anybody, like, or just like, I'm not like really part of like the dating world. Like I don't just date. And so I'm not really like, I don't care. Like I've been single for so long and I've been just doing me. Like I'm okay. Like I'm content in my singleness. So I don't, if it turns somebody off to see that I am loyal and devoted and ambitious enough to really be all in for a specific person whenever, because if it's not him and if it doesn't work out, then if I were
Well,
to
honey, hold on real quick.
decide today.
You shouldn't be loyal to a man you never met.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm just. What I'm saying is like that. I possess that quality. So it would be for whomever I decided to date.
No,
It
this is
would
not
be
no, that's not how that comes. It doesn't come across that way because you never met this man. So you're using words
right.
like loyal and devoted to a man you've never met in life. So it comes across as delusional, stalker, and
Well, not
crazy.
no. It wasn't necessarily. I wasn't meaning necessarily to him. I'm just saying to the thing, to anything that I would
No,
want, that
because
I.
but you gotta. But I want you to hear how it's being perceived. Those you use loyal and devotion should be earned, right? So the fact that you're giving this to a man that you've never met, it makes it look like obsession, and you're focusing, and it's almost like fantasy because he's famous to a certain degree too.
Right.
So it's not a good point of I'm proving that I could be loyal and devoted. That's what you say if you were like married to a man and y'all went through hard times. That doesn't fall into this category.
Right. Well, I wasn't, maybe I said it out of context. Maybe I said it wrong, but like, is what I mean is I'm not concerned about how it looks to other men or if it's going to turn somebody else off because I'm not particularly like looking for anybody else or like I'm not even like I said, even if it didn't work out between like with him, it's just like I'm content with where I'm at. So if it didn't and I did decide to date, like if that turns somebody off, the fact that I did what I'm doing now, then that's fine. Then they would be not be the person for me then if they are not willing to give me a chance or if I wanted to attempt to date in the future and somebody sees this and they're like, oh, she's crazy or she's obsessed with him. I wouldn't consider myself obsessed. I wanted to
What
shoot
would
a
be
shot. I did
what would be obsession if this is not it?
like I haven't like I don't spend every single day like trying to contact him or to reach out. Like this has been like I've discovered him maybe 2 years ago, and in that time, like there's been maybe a handful of times that I've attempted to. I mean, and only recently, whenever I decided to, the day that I like actually made the profile is whenever I really was like, okay, I'm gonna be serious about it. Like, I mean, yeah, I sent the messages, I would waited for a response, I commented on the things, but I waited and it was just kind of like, okay, that's never gonna happen. Like you said, it's a fantasy. He's famous, he's never gonna see me. Like it's fine. Like I go about my business. But then I was just kind of like, okay, like maybe I'm gonna like I really wanna the opportunity. So let me reach out to Kendra. So it's not like this is something that I obsess over daily or that I'm constantly like stalking him or like I'm trying to like I don't I don't know how to say like yes, I'm interested, but I'm okay if if it doesn't work out. Like, it's not like I'm going to continue to try if he's like, I'm not interested, or if it doesn't go anywhere. It's like, okay, like that didn't work out, like moving along with my life. I mean, I'm not like I'm not hyper emotional about it. Like, I care, but I don't want to sit up here and be like, this is all I devote my life to day in and day out. Like, I had a crush. I did what I had to do to try to shoot the shot, and this is where I'm at. So it's like it's either going to work or it's not. So
Okay.
I'm putting my best foot forward.
Okay, here we go. It's Miss. How do you say your? Well, if you put up future Mrs. Wiley, it will come up in the search area. If you put up future Mrs. Wiley, she will come right up. But I mean, it's only for Dmitri. So Dmitri, if this is your wife, you would send a DM. She said you would send a DM, Dmitri.
No, I literally, like, my whole profile is just like, and the day that I did it, like, I don't know.
Okay, let me read it since you brought up the profile. I would have skipped it, but since you brought it up, what I'm looking for. I'm waiting for Dmitri Wiley. That's it.
That's
That's
it.
all. Cousins, please help our love story along by going to Lost Loverboy Podcast on YouTube, IG, Facebook, whatever.
This is
Blowing up his comment
hilarious.
section with messages that say, "We found Mrs. Wiley. She's waiting for you in the Kendra G Singles app. Misty, call mama. I'm so serious, LOL. But also a word of caution to others, if I may. Going too in depth with this answer gives predators a foothold to prey. So don't be too specific. Leave room for someone to show you who they really are without the roadmap to your heart's deepest desires. Thanks in advance to the real lover girls and lover boys who loved enough to help me on my mission. You're the real MVPs. And you are not obsessed.
No,
Okay. Okay.
I'm not obsessed. I'm not obsessed in a psychotic way.
Hey. We have one more. There was one more part. That was what she was looking for part. But then there's a
Oh yeah,
part
my
at
deal
the
breaker.
very beginning, and the very beginning says, what does TBH stand for?
What is what?
TBH?
To be honest.
Oh, to be honest, I created the profile with the sole purpose of asking Kendra to call out my celebrity crush when she picks me, lover LBS. I DM'd him on other social media apps to no avail, and I know the only way KG will let him reach out to me is if I have a profile on the Kendra G Singles dating app. So here I am giving it my best shot. Lost Lover Boy, KDW, where you at? All right. So Mrs. Wiley.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's listen. I am making no promises of him reaching out, but
Oh shoot.
I will get
That's
the video
funny.
to him. I can't tap his finger to make him watch it, but I'll get the video to him and let's see if he
I'm
wants.
having fun, Kendra.
I
It's
know
all
you are.
lighthearted fun. It's all good. I appreciate you. I adore you, and thank you so much for your help.
You're welcome, baby girl. All right, bye, baby girl.
Have a
Bye.
good night.
You too. Kendra G Singles, the dating app, is available now on iPhones and Android phones.